Right, so I want to go over what the report is going to look like on a machine and also go through the process of submitting a ticket. So when I clicked the desktop icon, my information's already saved. I'm going to prompt my computer is going slow. Just to get a ticket in there. And since I'm using the email connector, essentially what's going to happen is going to send me an email with a little bit of information on the ticket and the report itself. So the report is still being collected means that it's still uploading the pictures on the screen, and you'll see that a little bit later on what I mean about that. So when you get a ticket and it's as vague as my computer is going slow, um, you can approach it in a couple different ways, I guess. Like ask the customer if they've restarted their computer recently. Um, Tell them if they've what they mean by going slow, because sometimes people will say their computer's going slow, but what they really mean is that their browsing experience is pretty terrible. This is a over 60 diagnostic report on the machine. In this case, it's my virtual machine, where the technician no longer has to dig and try to find what the problem is. Essentially, every single tier 1 diagnostic that technician would have done when they received the ticket is already done for them. So what we claim to say is that it saves you anywhere between 15 minutes. This report specifically. So if we were to tackle my computer's going slow, obviously up here we have the four different sections that we pull diagnostics from, or that we search for. And then if it's obviously going something slow, the things that are in red is something you want to look at. In this case, you can see that the person submitting the ticket, if they're saying that their computer is going slow, chances are that it's dealing with this. As you can see, I have a ton of tabs from Edge open, and it's consuming a ton of memory. So at that case, if the machine is a little bit older or not enough resources are allocated to it, you can tell the person, hey, look, maybe just don't browse with X amount of instances of Chrome. You might want to bring that down a little bit. We also do all the hardware stuff. So in this case, you'll notice that the BIOS is a little bit older. Again, it's a virtual machine. So you can take steps accordingly. We'll do essentially everything that a technician would initially do, but automatically for you. So there's no need for you to ask the customer, hey, can I get on your machine so I can start the diagnostics? Basically, we did it for you. So every single network diagnostic that you normally would do is already done for you. We basically take a printout of that user's machine and we document it for you. So it basically shows you everything: CPU usage, memory, disk drive, the size, and a big one is system uptime. I've had the virtual machine up for about half a day, and I'm planning on leaving it up a little bit longer, because you'll notice that when you ask a customer, have you restarted a computer lately? If you were to look up the uptime, chances are it'll be in the hundreds. So that could essentially, when you get the ticket, just, hey, look, you've been running the machine for 10 days. It's time for you to restart the machine. We pull all of the real-time processes and document them for you. Obviously, anything in red is something you want to take a look at. Anything in yellow is something that is starting to become a nuisance, and you can plan accordingly. Pull the event viewer. We document blue screens of death. Obviously, we document all the hardware on the machine, so fan status. If the fan's having an issue, obviously. Device errors, like if you're having Bluetooth issues or driver issues. We'll document warranty information if it's Lenovo, Dell, and HP machine. And then we'll basically pull the DNS cache as well. So if the user is like complaining of pop-ups or that the websites aren't working correctly, you can see what websites they were visiting. And the biggest feature and time-saving part of the report would be what I tend to call our time machine, where continuously monitoring the user's actions, which would include left click, right click, hitting enter, hitting escape, spacebar, essentially anything that could change the status of a window. And then we compile all the screenshots that we take of those actions. We write them to memory, and then we upload them when the user submits a ticket. So we're continuously monitoring them, but we only write them to memory when the user submits a ticket. Obviously, some screens are a little bit larger than others. A 4K monitor will take a little bit longer to upload. We are uploading them currently in an uncompressed format. So if the user has multiple screens, or if the user really has multiple 4K monitors, it'll be a little bit cumbersome for you to, take about a minute or so to load the images. But this is probably one of the best things that we have, which is that you can actually see the user have their problem in real time. So it's no longer, hey, can you take a look at my machine and see what's wrong with it? You can just basically say, hey, look, I saw you when you were doing that issue, or when you had that issue. I know exactly how to fix it. Give me a second and let me go ahead and take care of it. So the report is a pretty involved report. Like I said, it's over 60 diagnostics, and our goal is to basically not only save you time when handling that customer's ticket, but alleviate some of the issues when it's like a lot of the same repetitive tasks. We want to make sure that you're solving the problem instead of spending the majority of your time trying to figure out what the problem is, or trying to track the customer down so you can then get on that user's machine to then figure out the problem. The moment the customer sends their ticket in, you get this report. In that interim time where you're looking at the report, you're already grasping what's the issue with that machine. And like I said previously, you don't have to tell the customer, hey, let me get on your machine so I can figure this out. It's either you send them an email or you call them and say, hey, look, I see what's the problem on your machine. I've taken care of it, and you're good to go. And that in itself is like super good and lands really well with customers. It kind of makes you feel like a superhero in a sense that you're solving that problem the first time, and you don't have to tell the guy, hey, look, let's say if it's an intermittent issue, you don't have to tell the guy, hey, call me back when you're having that issue. You can actually see it happen in real time as well. And then at that point, it's not call me back, like I said. It's, hey, I've taken care of it. If you have any questions, join our Discord, or you can drop us a line, either a comment on this video, or you can just go ahead and send us a message on our support email, and we'll be glad to take care of it.